www.horseandrider.com. I'm your host, Jamie Novak. I am so excited to introduce you to my brand new training website that I've specifically designed for riders just like you that might want to communicate a little bit better what it is that you want from your horse. And all this without ever compromising your competitiveness. No matter what discipline it is that you ride, I'll guarantee you, if you had a little more balance and a little more suppleness in your horse, you'd have more success at whatever it is that you do. So whether it's better respect when you're on the trail, more throughness and relaxation when you're riding dressage, more suppleness to make your gamer or reiner just a hint handier in the maneuvers, or more collection and control if you compete in Western Pleasure or Hunter Under Saddle, all these little arenas require a level of suppleness or the ability to collect and balance. When I work with you, I'm going to be going into a whole lot of detail in order to help you understand what is instinctually being felt by a natural rider and or a trainer. Anybody can ride with feel if they, number one, understand the mechanics, and number two, learn when and how much to apply technique. So if you're one of those that either feels a little insecure about their riding abilities, or perhaps you just want to become better than what you are now, well, you've come to the right place. But be prepared to feel a little overwhelmed at times and exhilarated at other times, because it is a challenge at first to learn new knowledge and then to learn how to apply that knowledge correctly. So breaking old habits and thought patterns and to let new concepts come in is probably the toughest part of this program that you'll experience. But I guarantee you this, if you stick with me, you'll experience amazing things and breakthroughs in areas of struggle. Are you one of those riders that has said, I will never be able to train my own horse because I don't have long enough legs to reach under the belly and pick it up like my trainer? Or, I don't have the strength in my legs to keep my horse driving? What if I told you I have a very different approach to collecting a horse that brings speed control and head levelness along with it, that doesn't require those long legs that can poke a horse's belly button? Curious yet? You'll have to stick around if you want to find out how this can be accomplished. I'll be teaching you how to utilize some very common exercises to make improvements to your horse. Exercises that might seem simple enough and are used in warm-up pens everywhere. Sometimes they're executed in rather harsh ways, and other times seemingly ineffective ways. But one thing I can assure you, there is more to them than just meets the eye. A simple donut performed correctly can loosen a stiff rib cage and a tight back, allowing a horse to be more handy for pattern work or simply more sweepy in their movement. The use of such exercises and knowing how to get the most out of them will be similar to being taught how to replace, say, 100 incorrect sit-ups with 10 technically correct crunches. The best way to perform an exercise correctly and therefore effectively is to know, well, why does something work or doesn't it work? When you know the mechanics behind a technique, you can answer the whys, the whens, and how muches for proper execution of that exercise. Obviously, the thing you could do to achieve the best end result is to lay a fundamentally strong foundation to work off of. The quality of that foundation that you lay is either going to help you or it's going to haunt you as it follows you through the entire training process. The objective of the Pilot Riding program is to address the three most common issues that I've been asked time and time again. So take a moment to think about what it is that you tend to struggle with or see the people around you struggle with the most. I've narrowed it down to three main issues: head levelness, speed control, and collection. I'm sure those came across your mind too. As individual as these three topics might seem, they're very connected. You can't have one without having the other two. I want to help you turn these issues into elements of successful riding. So instead of you struggling with speed control, lack of collection, and inconsistent top line, I want you to enjoy speed control, true collection, and top line levelness. Pilot riding has 3 stages of learning. The first stage that has to be addressed is balance. But don't let the simplicity of hearing a single word like balance fool you into thinking that there's not more than meets the eye. This stage is the largest of the 3, and it takes the longest to develop in a horse. It consists of muscle growth, correct trained response, and relaxation while performing. This stage starts at 30 days, and it blends with all the other stages, 2 stages, to the very end. And once we have defined balance in all of its forms, we can go to stage 2, which is evaluating, and the third and final stage is application. The balance stage is the heart of the training the horse from A to Z. All the exercises and tests that we put our horses through are merely to increase our horse's balance. The higher the level of balance, without losing relaxation, the more trained your horse is going to be, and the less issues you'll have with speed control, collection, and top line levelness. You might ask, how can balance be so important beyond just the early stages of breaking or riding a horse? Because balance is taught in degrees of difficulty or levels of challenge based on the exercises that you perform. The closer to true balance that the horse and rider become, the closer to finish the horse will be. So balance is the key element to training a horse from 30 days to the real work finished product. I want to thank you for joining us today while I touched on the outline of the pilot riding program to help you know what it is that we're all about and what we'll be covering in the future. So sign up today and follow along with us as we take you deep into the heart of natural riding through the pilot riding program.